By the way, Serie A, let's get into it, which you can watch exclusively on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports. The team over there have been doing a fantastic job in this opener, and there's been some enticing stuff. Lisa, Rowan, let's throw up those fixtures. Let's just pick a storyline and then move on super fast. The only thing I wanted to mention was Juventus got going really well, but they have another Monday night game away at Sampdoria, AC Milan, Atalanta, so it should be a good one for Sunday. Inter Spezia, they had a tough going in opening weekend. So, boys, pick one game, pick one storyline, and we'll get to it. Jonathan Johnson, let's begin with you. Where do you want to go?
Well, the obvious temptation for me is to go with Roma against Cremonese, because Cremonese sounds like my new favorite pasta dish. So no, I mean, there's a lot to like about the lineup of games this weekend. And I mean, I think if I had to choose one team, I'd probably look at Napoli, because I commented after their opening win that they surprised me with how quickly they hit the ground running. I mean, they've overhauled the squad a lot, and I think that there is a lot to like about the changes that have been made. There's still some pieces left to add. They're expected to add Keylor Navas. They've got Ndombele rocking up there. So for me, I think that Napoli have changed my mind quite early on, because I thought they might drop off and maybe fall out of Champions League qualification reckoning completely. But suddenly I'm looking at this group of players and I'm thinking, you know what, actually they could, finish in that top four and get a Champions League spot. So for me, I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one. And Monza, obviously, with all of the a little bit like the Italian Nottingham Forest, like within reason, obviously not spending figures that big, but being quite ambitious with the players they've been targeting to stay up. So I'm curious to see how this one plays out. I think Napoli will win it, but it'll be a good indication of whether we can see Monza perhaps taking some points off of some of the bigger boys later on in the season.
I mean, I'm going to take the obvious one, Atalanta against AC Milan. I mean, I know that kind of maybe Atalanta have dropped back a little bit, and obviously losing Remo Freuler to the aforementioned Forest, who seem to be coming up much too often on this podcast. That's a bit of a blow. And I think maybe, whereas in a couple of years ago, we'd be putting them in that category with Napoli, as JJ's just mentioned, they're maybe now a step back. Having said that, winning against Sampdoria away from home, I think it was on the opening weekend. I really love that Ademola Lookman pickup for them. I think he's a player that actually his skill set's well suited to Serie A. And then, for this weekend, Demiral and Zappacosta look like being available. So it's a solid defense, a good way to test out this Milan side that I predicted to win the Scudetto. And I'm still pretty confident on that, because they managed to rest quite a few players in the opening week. So, yeah, it's the obvious one, but sometimes it pays to make the obvious choice.
Yeah, I'm going to go least, or less obvious, not least, because I would pick Monza over everything. Monza. But I'm going to go Lazio-Torino. This was a matchup last season where Torino, when they play a top 6 team other than Juventus, they give them a tough time. And they gave this Lazio team a tough time twice last season, taking points off of them and really making it an interesting run-in for them to get that final spot just outside the Champions League place. And this is a Lazio team that it's do or die, I think, for Maurizio Sarri's men, and Maurizio Sarri in particular. But as long as you have Ciro Immobile, good things happen in the final third. Immobile getting that gritty game-winning goal with the Lazio team that had to fight till the end. Hopefully they don't leave it late, but this could be a turning of the tide for Lazio this season.
Yeah, speaking of leaving it late, I'm just going to focus back on Inter Milan, which is my pick. And I know most of us picks for winning Scudetto. And I was a little worried about what I saw in the opening weekend. They needed a Denzel Dumfries stoppage time goal to beat Lecce. So I'm intrigued to see how they do this time around when they play Spezia at home. I'm imagining being at home, of course, at the San Siro might be something good, but Lukaku did get opening scoring, so we have to see how they do. But Inter, they didn't get off, just like Juventus didn't get off to a start that I thought. But there you have it. That's Serie A.